Welcome to. The story takes place 3 years after Resident Evil 7, where Ethan and his family moved to Eastern Europe under Chris Redfield protection. Ethan and his family are having a peaceful life, and Ethan right now is at Daddy, where he has a baby named Rose. Mia cooks dinner, and Ethan puts Rose on her bed. Ethan talks about an incident for 3 years ago, but Mia doesn't want to talk about it. But
it happened so long ago. I don't understand why you are so...
Mia, get down! Mia! Mia, oh God!
Someone comes to their house and...
Chris? What the hell?
Sorry, Ethan.
No! What? Why?
Chris kills Mia and kidnaps Rose, then Chris leaves Ethan unconscious. The scene moves to a flashback where Mia is worrying about something, but she seems doesn't want to talk about it, which makes Ethan feel more worried about her. But Ethan had to take a call from the and Mia leaves him. Ethan wakes up along with the dead soldier as he takes the phone. Ethan finds himself somewhere snowy and arrives at the medieval era, just like the Game of Thrones castle. This leads Ethan to travel the village in order to take back Rose. When exploring the village, Ethan finds a house and almost killed by one of the villagers. But the villagers was not ready for the attack, so he died. But he was not the only one. There are more of them. But Ethan suddenly gets bitten by a zombie, and then being surrounded by the zombies called lichens. But the lichens suddenly retreat to somewhere. Ethan encounters an old hag as he told her shouldn't be out there. But that old hag yaps about Mother Miranda and Rose and then leaves him, which makes Ethan assume Rose in the village. The lichens not only seek for Ethan, but also people in the village. Then Ethan meets a girl named Elena along with her father named Leonardo, where he got a bite from lichen. They finally reach a house that belongs to a woman named Luisa. In Luisa's house, there are a lot of people in her house. In fact, these people are the only remaining villagers. The Ethan and the villagers are praying together to Mother Miranda in order to protect themselves from the lichens. But Leonardo turns into a zombie and kills all of the villagers. Both Ethan and Elena manage to survive from the massacre and about to leave the place. But the car is flipped, which makes them trapped in the fire, so they have to go outside. When the zombified Leonardo finds them and calls Elena's name, Elena gets burned into fire. After escaping from the house, Ethan sees a mysterious woman who claims to be Mother Miranda and disappears. And he also encounters the old hag where she yaps about death. Then Ethan goes towards to the ceremony site and meets the Magneto, aka Heisenberg, where Ethan is being captured by Miranda along with the four lords. The four lords includes Alcina the Mummy or Lady D, Donna the Loner, Moro the Ugly, and Heisenberg the Magneto. Miranda asks Heisenberg to escape Ethan, but Ethan luckily escapes from them while being chased by the lichens. But at least, Ethan is able to get out from the castle and meet Duke, who will be merchant in this game. Ethan enters the castle to find Rose, but three baddies who are Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela are taking him to Mommy and...
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused. No
Lady D and her baddies are putting him up and leave him alone, which makes Ethan escape from the seductive torture. Then Ethan meets Duke in another room. Wait, Duke, how did you get in there? And also, how can you move? Never mind. Ethan explores the castle and encounters Bella, one of the baddies, and then Ethan kills her. This leads the Lost Generation lady to gaslight Ethan for losing one of her daughters. Wait, so you blame Ethan for messing up with your daughter? But did you also realize that you're also messing with someone's daughter? Anyway, Ethan finds a key and unlocks the door.
Oh shit.
There you go. All this for a child who isn't even here.
What the hell, dude?
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Ethan needs to escape from the Lady D and pulls the lever.
Ah, shit!
At least, Ethan manages to escape before being dismantled by her. At this moment, Ethan does something really interesting. That's it? That's all you need? Really? Back to the story. Ethan also kills the other baddies in the process, which makes Mommy crash out. Ethan then goes to a hidden chamber where he finds a dagger that can kill Lady D, which contains poison to nerf her regeneration.
You've ruined everything!
But then Lady D turns into smoke and Ethan ends her life. After Lady D dies, Ethan takes something really important, which is a flask. Ethan hears someone praise to Mother Miranda at the underground, where Ethan meets the old egg again, where she explained that Rose will be sacrificed to Mother Miranda. Ethan then finds something that looks like Umbrella Corporation, which kinda looks familiar. Moving on, Ethan meets Duke, and Duke knows Ethan will survive from the madness, and he explains that the flask that Ethan took is actually Rose's head. Bro, what the fuck? Miranda and her followers are fucking psycho. They literally just mutilated a baby for power? Seriously?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Lucky for Ethan that Rose can still be safe, but Ethan must defeat the other lords so that he can collect all the flasks. Duke also adds that Magneto is the most dangerous one among the four lords. Ethan asks, "Why did you do this so much for me?" The Duke said, "It's for money." Then Ethan sees Mia and finds himself at Mexican Lands of Doll. No matter what happens, Ethan will save Rose, so he enters Donna's house and meets Angie, Donna's creepy ass doll. Then Mia calls Ethan and encounters a big baby, but Ethan is able to escape from the horror, which actually just hallucinations. Ethan meets Donna as she attacks Ethan with her dolls just like Sasori. Not gonna lie to you, but the experience in Donna's place is just playing like the old classic Resident Evil games. Anyway, Ethan must find Angie and stab her head to get rid of this hallucination. And also, your doll friends are not cute at all. This way, Ethan also ends Donna's life. With the defeat of the loner, Ethan gets another flask, which is Rose's legs. Ethan continues to find the other two flasks by going to Morrow's place, where Ethan finds the Rose arm and meets Morrow. Morrow yells about himself being afraid of getting bullied by Miranda and the other lords, so he asks Ethan to return the flask. Ethan be like,
Oh, hell no, man.
Morrow then locks Ethan with his solidified acid, but Ethan frees himself from these shits and meets Chris along with his squad, as Chris told him not to be involved with the situation. I mean, Ethan has the right to be involved with this, cause his baby was kidnapped and also mutilated by a woman who did child adoption. Shortly, they are being attacked by the rip-off version of Meg, which separates Ethan and Chris. The rip-off version of Meg turns out to be Morrow, and whoa, that looks disgusting as fuck. But Morrow can maintain his form, so he turns into a giant fish, which causes a flood. To defeat him, Ethan must find a way to lower the water level, which he finds it, but Ethan must turn on the electricity so that Ethan can push the lever to lower the water level, which makes the Morrow kinda get some nerve. And also, Bro wants to exploit himself in order to get a praise from Miranda so that he won't get bullied again. Really? With this, Morrow is dead and Ethan already got 3 of them. Moving on, Ethan went somewhere and got the last piece, which he already collects all of them. And the flash triggers a bit of flashback where Miranda took Rose from Chris. Heisenberg tells him if Ethan wants to meet him, Ethan must put all of the flash to the altar. Ethan puts all flash to the altar and the bridge gives him a path to cross the Heisenberg's factory. Ethan is in the factory and finds the papers about Miranda and the other lords, his family, and Chris. Well, Heisenberg is quite different from the other lords, where he actually wants to defeat Miranda. He also explained that Ethan was being tested by Miranda to be part of her family. Not just Ethan wants to have Rose, but Heisenberg as well. But Heisenberg only views her as a weapon to defeat Miranda, as he always being experimented by Miranda, which leads him to hate her. Because Ethan doesn't want to team up with him, Heisenberg lets him die by his modified Lycans, which kinda looks like
Helicopter, helicopter!
not just the helicopter Lycan, but Ethan also gonna fight with other modified Lycans. Ethan tries to run away from the factory, but Heisenberg stops him and turns into a Devastator. Ethan is safe and meet Chris again. Chris explained that he actually wants to kill Miranda, who disguised as Mia. Chris didn't tell Ethan before because he doesn't want a civilian to be involved in the dangerous situation. Then, Chris aids Ethan to defeat Heisenberg. Chris tells Ethan everything in the village, including Miranda, the Four Lords, and also the Lycans, where all of them are Miranda's creation. Fun fact, Lycan is just like mold, but much more intelligent and stronger, as Lycan is a combination of a parasite called Kadu and also mold, which not every person can handle the infection. With the help from Chris, Ethan is able to fight with Heisenberg, and Ethan ends Heisenberg's life. But Miranda transforms into Mia and turns into different forms such as the old hag, while explaining the reason she did the child abduction is because she wants to revive her child Eva through Rose, which is the perfect vessel. In fact, Evelyn from the previous game was also Miranda's creation to revive her daughter, but Evelyn is a failed product. Then Miranda hides herself in her molds and...
Don't worry. Your death will come quick. You will join the Megamycetes records. I will make sure to sample your blood for later. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will be complete, and I will become her true mother, bound for eternity in blood.
Moving to Chris. Chris finds Ethan is dead by his team and recounts from the moment he killed Miranda. Well, Chris actually did not leave Ethan in the snowy place, but he was taking Ethan and Rose to save them. But the vehicle was attacked where Chris couldn't find both of them. Right now, Chris and his squad are attacking Miranda, where the village is filled with the mold. Chris also finds that the BSAA are sending their people to the village, and their plane is down. To approach Miranda, Chris must get rid of the mold that covers the entire village, while killing the Lycans. Then, Chris finds the Megamycete and put a bomb on it, which was going to blow out the village. Before escaping the village, Chris needs to end Miranda and save Ethan and Rose. Oh yeah, things will be better if Chris told Ethan about the situation earlier. Moving on, Chris then finds Miranda's lab where Spencer used to be her apprentice, and Chris frees real Mia. The real Mia explained that she was kidnapped by Miranda as a test subject, so the flashback with Mia is the last moment Ethan sees Mia. After that, Ethan was with Miranda for the whole time. Mia also tells another secret about Ethan. In the realm of consciousness, Ethan meets Evelyn, where she tells the truth about Ethan, where Ethan is actually already dead since Jack killed him, and Ethan actually was a mole. Because of this, Mia is afraid of Ethan might end up like the Baker family, which she didn't tell anything about this to Ethan. Moving back to Ethan. Ethan is somehow still alive, and Duke takes him to Miranda. Even though Ethan is still alive, his body is falling apart slowly. Ethan then meets Miranda where she gets Rose, and she claims Rose as her daughter. Seriously? You just took someone's baby and claim it as your own? Are you kidding me? Bruh, if I were Ethan, I'm gonna piss off with this bitch. Moving on, Ethan fights with Miranda, and he finally kills Miranda for good. This way, Ethan is able to take his custody of Rose, but he can't stay much longer. Then Chris is finally able to find Ethan and takes both Ethan and Rose to safety. Even though Miranda is dead, but the mold or the Megamycete is still active, that makes them have to escape from the village. With this, Chris is gonna blow up the village and tells Ethan that Mia is still alive. At this moment, Ethan knew that he couldn't live to see Mia and Rose anymore. So Ethan gives Rose to Chris, Ethan pushes Chris away and takes the bomb remote and... Chris arrives at the plane and gives Rose to Mia, while telling his squad to take a flight quickly. Mia just realized that Ethan was not with them, and...
What was that?
I told you to sit down.
Then, one of the team tells Chris that BSAA is not sending a soldier, but a bioweapon, and plotting the course to the BSAA Europe HQ. This way, the story of Ethan ends here, and also ending the story of Resident Evil Village. In epilogue, a girl visits a cemetery who turns out to be Rose, where she visits Ethan's graves and say,
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday.
However, Rose has a job to do, and the driver delivers a joke to her that rage baits her. Rose then tells him that she can do what Chris doesn't know. Then Rose leaves the cemetery, and the father's story is now done. The end. Bruh, this is like saddest Resident Evil game that I know, and just so emotional for me. The story is just simple. It's a father who wants to take back his custody of his baby from the ugly ass bitch that refused to believe that her daughter is already dead long time ago. And Ethan is not a hero, not a soldier. He's just a kind of husband and loving father who puts family before all else. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.